Hey everybody out there in cyberspace. I just finished recording a video there about visual scripting, basically going about what that is, and since it's clearly not something covered a lot, and that's the reason I'm covering it in the video. So I hope you enjoy that video right here from productionhackers.net. Catch you later. Hi everybody out there in cyberspace. I'm Sharif from productionhackers.net. So today we're going to be talking about visual scripting. So what's visual scripting? Exactly, that's the reason I'm talking about it, because a lot of people don't know much about visual scripting or what it is. It's basically a technique used to allow people to pretty much do the same kind of performance and have the same power as coding without actually coding. It uses the form of nodes or modules. They are visually represented on screen as boxes with inputs and outputs that let you connect them together, and each one has different functions, meaning that one is one node and the other is another node, and they're connecting to each other that way through their ins and outs to have the code, when it runs, perform logical behaviors and actions. So basically, visual scripting, you could say, is an interface that represents coding, not the use of text, but the use of visual representations using what's called nodes, which are like boxes that connect together, like flowcharts, to do the same sort of performance and the same sort of product and results as coding. Now, of course, there are some caveats. Because everything is based on coding, the modules themselves had to have been coded at one point in code. But that could be said for even C++ or JavaScript or Java or any other programming language. C, most programming languages, you could say, well, actually, they're derived from assembly. And then you could say, well, assembly is derived from binary, and so on. So deep down, it comes down to it, they're all binary, unless it's quantum computing, of course, which is, I don't know, what are they calling that? Trinary or something. Who knows? I gotta look that one up. But anyway, so yeah, everything is basically binary in the end anyways. So there's no point in that argument that it's not as pure or that you can't do as much, because when you think about it, today's very popular scripts like Python has a lot of power, and it has a lot of use and a lot of publicity and a lot of buzz, and it's a scripting language. It's very abstract. It means it's on a very high level, and that's what visual scripting is. It's also very abstract for coding, yet it gives you so many options, so many features available in a full-fledged system if it's properly developed, that you can basically have access to a library of nodes and functions and different objects and classes. And there's also templates if there is good documentation and references to work from and resources there. So one good example is Unreal Engine 4 has the blueprints. So Unreal Engine 4 is a good example with the blueprints model that they have going on there. But this is also found in SynthMaker, which is used to develop synths of your own software synths to create original designed interfaces with original sounds and themes for those sounds. There's also visual scripting found in compositing software like Nuke. You can also find visual scripting viewable in motion graphics software like After Effects, though you can't actually edit it, you can see it. Many 3D software actually use visual scripting with their materials. The textures and the maps are set up, and so on, the effects, the post-processing on the materials of the 3D models, or you're even on 2D planes or sprites, and so on. They're doing post-processing. They might have those kind of features there, especially in 3D. Blender is a good example of that right there, and it's a standard you can see mimicked across a lot of software. Like Houdini is a big one that actually is for technical directing, that basically allows you to manipulate 3D models and effects and so on in indirect ways, but to accomplish bigger, more epic animation. Perfect for when you're doing that sort of Hollywood feel. If you really get a hold of what you're doing in there, you can really do some amazing stuff and weather effects and all sorts of stuff like that. Even Smoke, I think, from Autodesk, which is like a convergence of something like After Effects, but with like integrated 3D built from the ground up, and it has editable nodes. Visual scripting is amazing because although I know a lot about that stuff, but not a lot of people seem to, I notice, and that's why I'm partly making this video. I think there's a really big opportunity here in visual scripting. I think that if you can develop your own visual scripting interface, your own graphical user interface that's got the node system, that has deep access to a library that allows some people to do some really powerful stuff in a working manner, built from the programming language or scripting language that you're comfortable with, that you know well enough, that can achieve that in a reasonable or timely way. I think that's something that one could commit to. There's a lot of value in there. So I'm not going to say numbers or anything like that. I don't want to evaluate anything, but I think that there could be a lot of potential for people who know what they're doing and they know about business and they're willing to commit to something like that, and they have that knowledge, or they have someone to partner with them who has that expertise and knowledge to help them with that. So yeah, that's about visual scripting. I hope to see more visual scripting. I'm going to see, I have a lot of stuff going on right now, but I'll see if maybe I could look into doing a visual scripting project if, the stars align. I'm not going to say anything official right now, but yeah, I wanted to let you know about that. I hope you can look more into visual scripting yourself. I hope more people can learn about it, talk about it, try to think of new ways to develop new systems for visual scripting. And that's it for today. This is productionhackers.net with Sharif. Catch you next time. See you.